you have this moment, which is, it's very much about what's happening in the prom, because that's all about, Broadway and Broadway, people in Broadway musical theater and dreams of being a big star. You land this role in Book of Mormon and suddenly your life changes. But I'm curious, I want to go back before that, when you are in New York and you are struggling. And basically that's the character you're playing in the prom. You're playing a struggling performer who hasn't made it yet, and is tending bar. What kind of jobs did you have in New York before you made it?
Well, I was always a good interview. I always gave a really good job interview. So if people would think like, oh, he's responsible, he's from the Midwest, like naturally. And then I would work at places for like a day and then get really tired of like the idea of a day job. So like the worst one, I mean, by far the worst one was I worked at a gym in Brooklyn Heights. And my shift was at 5 a.m. I had to open the gym. And I, the night before, was out with people, I was like 20 years old, just like knocking them back. And when the time came to open the gym, I just decided not to. And so then I got a very panicked phone call around, 5:45, which I ignored because there were people like lined up outside the gym because I had the keys. And I just didn't let them in. And then, Conan, I thought maybe it would be a good cover to then call my boss and say, I was like, I'm so sorry. I actually moved back to Nebraska. I don't live here anymore.
So that would be your excuse as to why the reason I couldn't be here is I moved back to Nebraska.
But I lived above the gym. I actually, my dorm was above the gym. So I lived in constant panic that I was going to run into someone. And I really did it very dramatically. Like I was having some sort of like, real crisis that I had to go home. And all the while I was just like drunk at a gay piano bar and just didn't want to go. I just didn't want to go. So
it's a problem because if anyone sees you, why aren't you in Nebraska? And then you have to explain that you have a private jet that gets you back and forth, even though you have no money.
I'm just getting my stuff. I just needed to unpack or pack up my things because I left in such a hurry. Yeah, I did that quite a bit. I would leave jobs like that because I think like at my core, I knew that I wanted to be an actor and I knew I wanted to perform. So like the idea of a day job was like a real hurdle for me. And I know that's not, the case for most people. But I had a real chip on my shoulder about, well, I can't do this. I was a host for one night at a place called Nacho Mama's by Columbia University. And I like at a certain point, people kept coming in and I was like, I can't. So I just went to the bathroom for like an hour.
Which to be fair, a lot of people do at Nacho Mama's.
It's true. It's very true. But I couldn't even handle it for one night. I was like, there's too many people. I can't seat people. I'm in the weeds.
All right. So fortunately for you, things worked out because I think if you had to make it at a real job, I'm not saying what you do isn't a real job, but I'm including myself. I think you and I aren't cut out for the legitimate world.
No, I have no marketable skills in terms of helping people, or like doing a service. Like, I just don't.
I've always thought that if I had been born at any other time in history, I'd have been when people needed to know how to build a stone wall or go plant crops, they would have just killed me immediately. Because that would just be this random wise ass that was consuming food and saying stupid things in the corner, and they'd have just taken a stone and killed me.
It's true.